Hello there, welcome back to my channel Investment Mindset. It's wonderful to be back home. I was away for vacation recently to Singapore and was back last 3 days where I got down with bad flu and fever due to overexhaustion and heatiness. The heat in Singapore was almost similar to here, but plus all the walkings. Totally overexhausted my body, which was only used to under 5,000 steps daily. When I was in SG, I think I walk more than 12,000 steps daily at least, which is almost 2.5 times my usual walking quota. Today I'm feeling much better, and I also think it's time to update the technical analysis on all the stocks which I have called for a buy. Let's begin with Atmor. I called out to buy Atmor when it was trading around 62 cents. To me, at that price level is considered attractive, and many of its insiders bought around this level too. If we look at this level, Atmor chart price is almost back to its IPO price month way back in August 2022. From its monthly chart here, we could see that Atmor price has been in red for continuous 4 months. Usually 3 months continuous would have warranted a technical rebound, but Atmor stock price went to the extreme downward, almost touching 56.5 cents. But on the consolation side, I could see the selling volume has been declining too. This may also indicate selling exhaustion, and when we look at its weekly chart, we see a doji has formed, which usually indicate a reversal in its downtrend. On its daily chart, it seems Atmor stock want to form a W pattern, and if this is indeed the case, then we can expect Atmor stock price to be looking to go upward with a strong resistance at around 70 cents, which will also fill the gap above here. Now let us come to Ketchup. On its monthly time frame chart, we could see there appeared long wick on 3 continuous monthly chart candles, indicating bull is trying to protect its gains. On the third monthly candle, bear took over to close at 24 cents, and the corresponding volume has been declining on the red monthly candle. From this chart, we can see that 23 cents is a strong support level, and the chart has been making higher low as well. On its weekly chart, Ketchup stock price formed a falling wedge, and this week it has just produced a hammer, indicating buyers have come in and downtrend may be about to be reversed. On its daily chart, we could see that on 17 May, Ketchup stock price finally retraced back down to close the gap it left previously on the 7 March this year, and a doji has appeared too, indicating end of a downtrend, and the probability of Ketchup stock going back up from here onwards is on the higher side. If Ketchup stock is able to break above 26 cents, then we can expect the stock price to be able to go up to 30 to 31 cents and finally around 33 cents. Do take note that earnings for Ketchup is estimated to be around end of May this year. Now let us move to Dinex. On Dinex monthly time frame chart, we could see that there was so far a 3 red bar down in the past 3 months. Usually with a 3 monthly red bar in a row, there should be a technical rebound. On its weekly time frame chart, Dinex chart seems to be forming a descending triangle, and with finally a doji form end of this week. Sign of doji usually signify a reversal in trend, and we could also see some mild RSI positive divergence form on its weekly chart. On its daily chart, we could see a longer descending triangle form together with a clearer positive divergence on its RSI indicator. This chart is telling us that Dinex stock price want to move higher in the near term to around 55 cents before it is met with a confluence of resistance line, where most likely Dinex stock need to do some backfilling and consolidating before it could go up further. What I plan to do with Dinex stock is to buy if it come down to around 41 to 42 cents on its earning date with low volume. Thereafter, this stock should be moving up as per the descending triangle pattern, usually with 70% probability success rate. Now let us move to Jack Berhart. Let us look at Czech monthly time frame chart. We could see Czech stock price surge up above 39 cents, strong resistance in the month of March this year with 197 million volume 2. On the following month, that is April this year, Czech price made a new all-time high at 46 cents, which is also a confluence of resistance line over here. Wherever there is a confluence of two resistance lines, it means the resistance is of a heavy weight, and it pushed Czech stock price to all the way down to 33 cents. But if you do notice, the volume is around 183 million and therefore slightly lighter than the March volume. This means buyer is still more than sellers. So this month thus far, we see Czech price is able to go back up to close at 34.5 cents today. On this weekly chart, we see a reversal in downtrend to uptrend since last week, and it continues into this week. Though the volume is not very high thus far, on its daily chart, there will be a strong resistance at around 37 to 39 cents, and if Czech stock price is able to break through this price range, the next target price will be around 42 cents. Now let us look at Hong Seng. If we look at Hong Seng monthly time frame chart, we could see a bullish wedge form, and thus far a green candle formed last month, and this month Hong Seng price is retracing back to its April month low of 11 cents. Now on its weekly chart, we could see an even clearer bullish wedge form with consolidation taking place, where we could see that Hong Seng stock price has been consolidating in this range for the past 8 weeks, and the candle is also getting smaller on this week, indicating a reversal to take place soon. This is also confirmed by the RSI positive divergence. Finally, on Hong Seng daily time frame chart, we could see that a mini double bottom has formed, and from the double bottom chart pattern, Hong Seng stock is telling us that it wants to push back up to the first target price at around 15 to 15.5 cents and to do some consolidation before it can push all the way up to 18 cents to complete the full double bottom. Now we come to Mtech. On Mtech monthly chart, we could see thus far there seems to be a hammer forming, indicating a reversal in trend soon. On its weekly time frame chart, Mtech chart is forming a descending triangle, meaning this stock wanna go back up, and an inverted hammer just formed this week, indicating a reversal in a downtrend to end, and Mtech price looking to go back up. Looking at its daily time frame chart, a clear positive divergence on RSI indicator is telling us that this chart indeed wanna break to the upside soonest. First target price would be around 46 cents and second target price around 50 cents. In order for Mtech to move all the way up to fill the gap at 58 cents, Mtech stock may need to do a pullback and backfill and consolidates to gain momentum to push back up all the way to 58 cents. And finally, we come to Icon Offshore. Looking at Icon Offshore monthly time frame chart, we could see that this stock has been moving range bound within this channel. And in the past, we could see that usually after a 3 monthly red bar max, it should be met with a technical rebound to the upside. Currently, even though May still has 1.5 weeks left, it has thus far been in red, and we are also currently trading at the bottom of the channel. With this chart pattern, the probability of a rebound to the upper channel is on the higher side. Now if we look at its weekly chart, we could see a falling wedge form too. And finally, a hammer has also formed on its weekly chart, which also indicate high likelihood of a reversal in trend soon. Finally, on its daily chart, we could see a positive divergence on its RSI indicator occurs since December 2022 till now, where we could see Icon Offshore stock price been making lower low, yet the RSI indicator is making a higher high. Though by looking at pure technical analysis, the probability of Icon Offshore having a rebound is on the higher side, but we may also need to be cautious and take note that its earnings will be out soon, estimated 25th May this year. And since I already have a position in Icon Offshore, I will let the trade to play out as per the technical chart, but will not add more until after the earning is reported and to see how the chart price responded to the earning. One thing I want to share why Icon Offshore stock price movement seems to be lacking. It could be due to its huge public float. For your information, Icon Offshore has a public float of 2.61 billion. Usually a stock with huge public float will need huge fund of buying in order to move up the price and vice versa. This could also explain why Icon Offshore stock price has been trading in a channel since 2020 till to date. Hence, I was happy when I see that Icon Offshore Management has proposed to do a reverse split of 5-1 and has also proposed to terminate ESOS, where both actions would also help to reduce Icon Offshore public float and make it easier for the management to push up Icon Offshore stock price in the future. This is all for today, and if you like my content, do comment, like and subscribe if you have not done so. And lastly, I would greatly appreciate if you could also help to share my videos to other like-minded people. Let's connect, and may the good Lord bless you and your family abundantly, and I shall see you again in my next video.